Alright, Shalom, Shalom. I want to give all praise and honors due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and without them we wouldn't have this truth because they were the instruments to bring it out, used by the Most High Yahweh. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who be like unto the speckled bird, looking like the other nations, but the Spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, meaning they're Israelites. And Shalom to, oh yeah, Salak, Shalom. First off, before that, to the Akim out there spreading this truth like wildfire, and all truth and sincerity. All truthfulness and sincerity, and then shalom to the, you already know. Shalom to the Israelite foreigners who be like under the speckled bird, looking like the other nations, but the Spirit bears witness that they're the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The Spirit bears witness with our spirit that they're the children of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, meaning that they're Israelites. And shalom to the real sisters out there who are actually, they're actually, staying in order according to the law, statutes, and commandments, and, staying, keeping at home and all that, doing their best, to be in order, who are really, who are actually sincere, unlike the fake sisters out there that claim to be in this truth, and the 2/3 Eves that are out there in the world, being bad bitches, lost as fuck when they're actually daughters of Zion. And I wanna go on this, basically a continuation of the last live, because Esau ended my last live. Because this devil, he was mad that I was bringing this out, and I was going into how, basically, these devils destroyed our heritage, man. How these devils oppressed our heritage, these devils, that was a part of the atrocities they committed. So I was going into the atrocities of Esau, the so-called self-proclaimed white man who rules America, and who benefited from what happened on July 4th, 1776, while we were slaves, man. We were slaves. You look at the good majority, even the ones who wasn't, they're just like, they're slaves soon after, and slaves so resulted in more slavery, Our people was going down, our people was being taken down, and these devils was rising up. And this is basically a celebration of these devils establishing new Rome upon earth, you know, America, you know, that's what it is. That's what it is. Their best achievement yet, establishing America, this queendom. That's what it is. So yeah, you're full for celebrating this Folly Day, July 4th. You're a fool for celebrating it as a so-called black man, as a Latino, and as a Native American, or even a speckled bird. You know, you're a fool. You're a fool for celebrating this Folly Day. If you go back to so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, and Native Americans on your father's side somewhere, or your spirit identifies with us, or even better yet, you can get this truth, you can comprehend it, you need to stop celebrating July 4th, because that you're celebrating your downfall, man. You're celebrating these devils, oppressing you. You're celebrating oppression. You know, you're celebrating oppression. You're celebrating your slavery. You're celebrating genocide. You're celebrating, you're celebrating your genocide. You're celebrating evil being done to your people by Esau, your top adversary, the so-called white man. Hey, the independence of America, of Babylon, the so-called independence of it, or of independence of it, was fought against a Jake, fought against the king of England, who was a Jake, who was a so-called black man. King George III, he was part of that original black nobility, and royal families that was ruling. The Israelites, man, the Judites that were ruling, which were called Moors and Knights. Moor just mean dark skinned. They were fighting against them, and you had our people fighting on the side of Esau as well. But they were taken out. There's that too. There's that aspect too. No matter what our people did for this country, even ensuring that it exists in the first place, our people were stabbed in the back, right in the back soon after. And then you had the tribe of Gad, the Native Americans, which made sure the colonists, the Edomite colonists, were straight, taught them how to farm, taught them how to fish, all that shit, man. They were through when they got here, and Gad made sure they were safe. And what did Edom do? What did Edom do? He stabbed him right in the back, right in the fucking back. Which y'all wanna celebrate that? To celebrate that, Eh. You'll celebrate that. You'll celebrate all these fall days based on the oppression of our people and lies. Nothing but lies. You'd celebrate that, being a traitor to your own people, like those Jakes that took the side of those Edomites. Like Elder Malcolm brought out way back, it's Huguenots, man, who were Jakes that are part of the so-called black nobility of Europe that came over here, and they was doing a little well off. They hadn't really fallen under captivity like that. They wasn't catching the curses like that. So, but they was trying to stop themselves from catching the curses. So they took the side of the so-called white man Esau, and the so-called white man Esau stabbed him right in the back. Didn't show no love to him. Soon after. Soon, because they were part of the, the first president of the, you have dudes like Paul Revere was a Huguenot. You have a few others, man, Huguenots. You have, shit, I didn't even know this. Hey, David Crockett, he was a Huguenot, man. Meaning he was a Jake, but he fought on the side of Esau. And all them Huguenots, man, got stabbed in the back. Them early freedmen all got stabbed in the back. Got taken into captivity, a lot of them. Got done like 12 years a slave, and that's why you're not supposed to trust your enemies, even them. The Gadites, the Moors, the Moranos, that were the Huguenots and shit, that were race traders, got fucked over. And this is why you don't trust your enemy. And you definitely don't celebrate his folly days, celebrating your destruction. This devil is celebrating your destruction. And you're partying along with him. Ecclesiasticus 12:10, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. You trust your enemy, to be your friend, and today you trust him, which is why you party along with him. You believe him. Ecclesiasticus 12:11, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and be aware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped the looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. No, thou shalt know that. You're going to find out. Now people have found out before. They found out, and then the so-called white man, he claimed he was changing. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm not. Well, he's not truly apologetic. He was just like, well, that was me before. I'm not like that no more. And then each fucking time, he stabbed our people in the back. Bit our people in the ass. Or bit the hand that fed him, the hand of Jake. Because our people didn't take heed and be aware of him. So they didn't see that he was still the wicked. His rust was still there. Verse 12, set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit at thy right hand, lest he seek to take thy seat, and thou at the last remember my words be pricked therewith. Pricked therewith. Both literally, they're both literally and physically. Both literally and symbolically, being pricked therewith. Feeling like a dumbass, symbolically, feeling like a dumbass. And then, what you should feel like a dumbass for doing that, trusting your sworn enemy, your natural enemy, should feel like a dumbass. And also, yeah, trusting the serpent, man. Esau had the buffer right then, huh? Esau put me in the buffer zone, yo. Again, damn devils, man. You being pricked, but you Jakes is being pricked there with, man. You being pricked there with both literally and physically, because you're gonna feel like a dumbass again, man. Some of y'all already, you know, doing the Harlem Shake involuntarily because you took the juice, you know, you took the Cesare Borgia juice, and now you're doing the now you're doing the Harlem Shake, off beat involuntarily. A lot of y'all, you know, some of y'all drop dead. Some of y'all know people that drop dead. And this jab, there's the short-term effects. What about the long-term effects? What about the nanoparticles they injected in you? You see, America and the devils who rule it are still fucking our people over. That's the thing about it. It's not just the past. It's the present. They put nanoparticles in that jab, man. And guess who they was marketing it to, mainly? You so-called black people, you Latinos, and you Native Americans. As a, you know what? As well as the poor rural community, because you got speckled birds out there as well. So Esau was just he's aiming it at our people, man. He's aiming it at our people, just like he did with the most famous one. This where the Tuskegee experiment. That's the most famous one. But where he promised, it was like he was giving out the jab. He was giving out the jab to you Jakes. And he was lining up and taking it. And you got syphilis. So you got poisoned. And the same thing is going on here. You let him hit you with that venom, man. And you'd be surprised. You let them hit you with venom, and you'd be surprised that you get fucked up. And you trust the serpent. That's where you fucked up first. Trusted the serpent, your enemy. That's the mistake of our people, man. Being like them Huguenots, being like them Gadites that nursed these Edomites back to health and fucking taught them how to farm and shit. Being like those Moors that taught them how to bathe and all that. Being like and civilized them only for them to be stabbed in the back. Being like those so-called Mexicans that invited them to Texas, invited them to California and other parts of the Southwest to settle the land because they wanted their help to deal with Gad, their brothers, the Native Americans. All the so-called Mexicans that went along with that government, with what they was doing, being like them, collaborating with Esau only to get stabbed in the back and thrown under the bus. Constantly being like these so-called black women and Latino women and Native American women, as well. Hey, being like the Malinches, man, took the side of the Spaniards. The Malinches, man, which the Ishkarites who supported the Mexican government's decision to let in Esau and shit into Texas into California, into what is now the U.S. Southwest. A lot of them was probably Malinches, man. A lot of them. It's probably them come back. You know, that, taking the Esau side against Gad, bro. Adopting the ways of Esau's to take Gad's land. The Gadite scouts, man. So many examples of collaborators and traitors who thought they could trust Esau. The Gadite scouts, man, who hunted Judites, slaves, man, or maybe even some of their own brothers that were slaves, hunted them to return to Esau. Those Gadite scouts, the descendants of them, where they at? Reservations and shit? Oppressed? Did they keep their land? No. The Buffalo Soldiers, man. Them too. Those Judites. So many examples of Rough Riders that fought for that devil, Teddy Roosevelt, that fought for him again in that war in Cuba against Spain to take over Cuba. Another example. Hey, so-called Cubans today, a lot of y'all. You so-called Cubanos down there in Florida, a lot of y'all. Taking the side of Esau because you forgot your oppression since you trust Esau. So many examples of them, man. So many examples of you traitors, you Jakes, you Jakes that betrayed our people, man. You Jakes that turned snake. You wicked priests and Jakes back in the time of you wicked niggas, man. You wicked priests and you wicked Judites and Benjamites. You wicked niggas, man, that took the side of the Edomites who were calling themselves Greeks back in the time of the Maccabees. And your collaborators got stabbed in the back. Collaborators in the time of the Romans, Roman centurions that were Israelites, so-called black people, and fought on the side of Rome. You fucking Josephus's, man. Now, do you have Cornelius's who thought they was doing the right thing, then repented, got right? Then you had it had a righteous spirit in them. That's why they were able to get right. Then you have Josephus's, man. You have Tiberius Alexander's, man. What happened? Those types get stabbed in the back. What happened? All you traitors, man. You house of Saul. The house belonging to the king that spared Amalek. Trusted that devil. All of y'all, get stabbed in the back. You're going the way of them. You're going in the way of the sellout Pharisees and Sadducees who collaborated with the Romans to take down Yahushai. Yahushai, the reason why they were scared of Yahushai was because they were scared of losing that position that basically they were puppet to the Romans, and they didn't want the Romans to come and take them out of power because they couldn't keep their people in check. So that's why they hated Yahushai. That's why they were threatened by him. These same types were the types that betrayed Yahushua, man. You know, yeah, hey, Judas played a major role. This misguided thinking, man. Trying to force the hand of the Most High Yahweh. Sell them to y'all. But, you know, really, hey, all of you 2/3 a bunch of Judases, man. All of you 2/3 are a bunch of traitors, man. The descendants of the could go on. The descendants of the people of those who cried, crucify him, crucify him. You know, John 8:44, John 8:42, or John 8:44. Ye of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer from the beginning, and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. Verse 45, and because I tell you the truth, ye believe me not. You know, because you believe the devil. Verse 46, which of you convinceth me of sin? And if I say the truth, why do ye not believe me? You know, because you can't receive it. You cannot hear the speech of Yahushua. You couldn't hear his, understand his speech, hear his words, because you could. So you do the same today. His servants, you can't hear what they gotta say. You ain't hearing us because you can't hear us. Verse 47. He that is, verse 47. Why do ye not understand my speech? Even because you cannot hear my word. You don't got the eyes to see, the ears to hear. You're deaf and blind. You know? Verse 47, you're deaf and blind, yet you're the ones to call us that. You know, you got the nerve to call us that, but verse 47 here, and you claim you are the Most High. You claim you're not going off, we're going off. We're bugged out, we're in a cult. And cult means worship, but you don't consider that. You know, but you say you use it to mean, oh, we're like some bugged out individuals that follow some man, bro. That follow some man, you know, and believe in some strange doctrine. That's how you use it. When we believe in the 144% truth out of this Bible, man. That's what we believe. Verse 47, he that is of power Yahweh, heareth power Yahweh words. You therefore hear them not, because you're not of power Yahweh. You know, that's why you can't do it, bro. That's why y'all can't hear, man. You know, one ear, not the other. Will tell it to you, pero no entiendes. Verse 42, Yahushua said unto them, if power Yahweh were your father, ye would love them. For I proceeded forth and came from power Yahweh, neither I came on myself, but he sent. I mean, y'all didn't get him. It's like y'all don't understand the words that his servants are speaking, because they are the same words that he's speaking. Verse 4, yeah, you know, because verse 47, you're not of the Most High Yahweh. You so-called Christian jakes out there, especially y'all are not of the Most High Yahweh. You didn't even call in his name. Verse 40, how can you claim you know him when you don't even call in his name? You don't even recognize his name. How can you know him? Verse 47, he that is of power Yahweh heareth power Yahweh words. Ye therefore hear them not, because you're not of power Yahweh. No, because you're heathens on this side, bro. You're Gentiles on this side, bro. You're the one. You 2/3 are the ones that are gonna stay Gentiles till the nukes drop on you and you receive the judgment of the heathen. You don't get saved on this side, because by blood you're an Israelite. According to the flesh, you're an Israelite, you know, but according to the spirit, you're not. Well, you have the mind. Your mind is of a heathen, you know. Even though, yeah, you're Jakes, man. You're Jakes. Okay, I should reword it, bro. You're Israelite, but not an Israelite of the Most High Yahweh. Okay, you're an Israelite that is acting like a heathen on this side, because you have the mind of a heathen. Your mind has been defiled by the heathens, by Esau primarily. So you have his mind. It's like, okay, it's like this. It's like if, okay, it's like if I was to adopt a baby, like, like if you adopt a baby, right? Adopt a baby from birth, right? And you raise him. His actual father could have been completely different. But because you adopted him from birth and you raised him from birth, he's going to have your values. Hey, 3144. It's 144 right there. Kala Yahbashim Yahshadashim Kagadash. The 3, wisdom, meaning wisdom, and 144. Wisdom of the 144. A sign showing that we're going in the right direction. Also signifies confirmation. Yeah, y'all have y'all adopted the ways of Esau because y'all were adopted by Esau, and you preferred your adopted father, who actually kidnapped you, over your real father, over the Most High Yahweh, and over your big brother Yahweh Shai. Now you prefer big brother Esau and father Esau, and your mother Eve. That's who y'all prefer. Eve and Esau. Caesar. Your mind is not with the Most High Yahweh, or with the Son. Definitely not. Well, definitely not. And then what did y'all respond with back then? You caught him bugged out. You caught him demon possessed. You claimed he was a Samaritan. Verse 48. Then answered the Jews and said unto him, Say we not that thou art a Samaritan and hast a devil, a demon? They were saying he was bugged out and had demons. Instead of understanding, they were talking shit because they couldn't understand. Because they are a bunch of dumb niggas. Huh. Yeah, you 2/3 are the problem, man, among our people. Because Esau Edom was the wicked, bro. He's designed to be the wicked. That's why he did all these things. Because it's in his nature. He's the sword. A sword is all it does is murder. All it does is destroy. It's a weapon of war. So guess what Esau has been bringing to the world? Nothing but war. That's why your neighborhoods are filled with war. That's why our land is filled with war. And that's why it's being filled with more war. Because Esau, the sword, their red horse of revelation, he's the one who's ruling the world right now. And as the judge is, so is the people. Let me, as the judge is, so is the people. Because the judge, the ruler, the one who runs the world, sets the vibration, controls your schooling, controls your media, controls your money. So he controls you. Controls your food. Controls everything in this society. And you only need to control a few things to control everything. And he fools you into thinking that you have some type of say when you have none. How Esau is the judge is so is the people. That's why you act like a bunch of devils. Psalms. I understand. I gotta get to the point. I gotta get to the point. But you 2/3, man, you're gonna fucking learn. You're gonna fucking learn for real. That this man is your enemy. You don't wanna believe us. You're like, nah. But he's so nice though. He's so nice. He bought me a coffee and donuts last night. Psalm 17 and 13. Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. Verse 14. For men which are thy hand, O Yahweh, for men of the world, which have their portion in this life, whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure. Privilege. They're full of children, leave the rest of their substance to their babies. You know, the motherfuckers that rule this world. Job 9:24, the wicked. Job 9 and 24. Kala Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Hashem Kakadash for this truth. This truth is a treasure, man. It's worth more than that, than them big bank, that big bank, and those bad bitches you niggas sell out for. Worth way more than all that shit, man. All that shit is personal. It is temporary. The truth is forever. Job 9 and 24. The earth is given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? Where and who is he? If that's not him. Where is Esau? Where is the wicked if he ain't the so-called white man running this world? You know, y'all gonna learn. You know, let me get as Ecclesiastes 10 and 2. This is why this is why y'all are the way y'all are. Ecclesiastes 10 and 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such as are all that dwell therein. Because, yeah, you know, Esau made y'all the way y'all was. Esau shaped your mind. Now you can't. Jerusalem, the people of peace, your so-called black people, Latinos, Native Americans, you speckled birds, Israelite fawners. You're the people of peace, but you can't stop murdering each other. And that's because you're under the vibration. You can't stop murdering each other, can't stop stealing from each other, can't stop committing adultery with each other's women. You can't stop you can't live in peace. You can't stop, selling drugs to each other, selling pharmakia. You're just setting up your brother for the okey doke. You can't stop doing that because you're under the vibration of Esau, the sword, the so-called white man, the people of war. You're following his lead and killing your own people. You're gonna learn. Y'all gonna pay for that though. For trusting Esau and adopting his ways. You're gonna pay. Esau, the devil that you trust so much, is gonna turn on you. You're already seeing it. Esau is damn, bro. I have the window open. The fuck? Damn, bro. Satan. Satan, man. Y'all, Satan fucked with me again. I lost my window where the live was at, lost track of it, and then Satan kicked me out. Or Esau, his physical counterpart. But Kahala Yahweh Shimi Shai that I got Bashim Kakadash that I was able to find it again. Satan is a motherfucker. An annoying motherfucker. That's his job though. He's created to do that. No matter of it's like you're boxing. You're training for a fight, right? It's like you're training for a fight. What do? What do boxers do to train for a fight? They spar. Basically, you think of them as your spar. Each of these demons as your sparring partner, man. That's what it is. That's how you could think of it, because literally they're your spiritual sparring partners, man. They're basically sent to make sure to keep you sharp, man. To make sure to keep you sharp, man. To keep a sword sharp, what do, man? No, come on. That's what these demons are for, man. It's for character development. But it's a pain in the ass, though, not gonna lie. Yeah, well, I was gonna bring out, what manner of man ruler of the city is such as are all they adulterer in. See, you 2/3 who are a bunch of devils too, but you're a bunch of devils because you were adopted by this devil forcibly, and you adopted his ways. You were kidnapped by this devil from birth, and you adopted his ways. And you developed Stockholm syndrome for him. That's why you are the way you are. But you're gonna pay for falling for this devil, bro. You're gonna pay because you're falling for this devil, and you chose his ways. You chose his ways, and for trusting him, and choosing his ways, this devil is gonna stab you right in the back. Ecclesiasticus 12:13. He's gonna bite you in the ass, whatever way you could put it. He's gonna throw you under the bus. Ecclesiasticus 12:13. Who will pity? Hey, got FEMA camps, bro, waiting for y'all. FEMA camps. FEMA troops. More plagues. This time, real plagues. This time, real plagues. Probably blame it on the Rona. Famine of the word. Can't be able to get this word. Actual famines of bread. All engineered. Starving. In the streets. So Esau, the so-called white man. Just so Esau, the so-called white man. Just so you could go to Esau, the so-called white man. Go to him for help. And get stabbed in the back again. Ecclesiasticus 12:13. Who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? Who's gonna pity you niggas, man? Who's gonna feel bad for you niggas? Esau definitely ain't. I mean, he's the one stabbing you in the back. The heathens ain't. They never did either. So many years in captivity, and the heathens, what did they do? What did they do? Made money. Pretended to fuck with you. but just to make money off of you and exploit you. These heathens, these other nations ain't your friend either, man. These so-called Chinese Moabites, them feeding you dog, feeding you rat in the hood, calling it chicken. These Arab Ishmaelites selling you cigarettes, selling you malt liquor with all kinds of toxins in it, bro. That's why you get fucking sick after you drink a lot of that shit. You get fucking sick. It's the shit at the bottom. Feeding you fucking fast food. Ishmael, Elam, doing that shit all day. Ammon feeding you abominations, every abomination out to sea. Sushi buffet. All the abominations you can eat. Moab and Ammon do it. Japheth, they play their own role. Japheth don't play that much of a role, but I'm sure they have their role of doing it. Oh, it's 1:44 p.m. Kala Yaba Shimel Shaba Shim Kakadash. Hey, ham, selling you those fucking your nails up and shit, putting fucking enchantments in your nails, in the nail products that they give you and shit. In the hair products. Moab do that too. And so these heathens, they exploit you. But you love them though. Yeah, they don't feel sorry for you though. They don't feel sorry for you. If one of them that may be a speckled bird tries to take your side, he gets cussed at. He gets threatened. They consider him a race traitor. If any heathen or someone who looks like a heathen takes your side or appears to take your side, they don't like that shit. So they're not with you, man. But yeah, verse 14, get back on the point. Someone that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with them in his sins, who will pity? Nobody. Verse 15, for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. He's gonna stay. He's gonna play that act. He's gonna. Who shall bemoan thee, right? You get the point, yeah. He's gonna play a friend of Jake, right? Especially the Democrats, the so-called liberal Edomites, bro. But Republicans do it too, just in a different way. Republicans go after you light-skinned Northern Kingdom, so-called Latinos, who are lower middle class, and light skin of our people, and who are lower middle class, and you speckled birds, particularly the ones that look like Esau. That's who the Republicans go after. Democrats go after you original looking Jakes and darker skinned Northern Kingdom. But they all play that game, friend of Jake, to play you against each other, act like your friend. Yeah, but for a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. Verse 15, each time he showed you this, made treaties with y'all, and broke them. All treaties with the Native Americans who were actually Native Israelites, the tribe of Gad, they were broken. Every last one of them. The Treaty of Hidalgo with the so-called Mexicans was broken. Every treaty you could think of. The deal that that these devils made with so-called black people that was being so-called freed, really emancipated, really the exchange, really given to another owner, the elites. They were transferred from being owned by the southern planters to the elites. That's what happened. Promised them 40 acres and a mule. Where is that at? Where is that at? Nowhere to be found. You know, in the Constitution, even lied to his own. In the Constitution, lied to y'all too. All them rights that we were so-called promised, broken. Broken. Continuously. He promised not to discriminate anymore, not to shoot our people down in the streets. This devil been promising change since the 60s, you know, even before that. But in the civil rights area was when he was really getting y'all to think that he was going to change. But look, y'all, worse case than before, and he didn't change. The discrimination happens, but not on paper, not officially. They murder our people, but claim self-defense. No longer because he's so-called black man, or no longer open racist. They say it has nothing to do with it. They say it was self-defense. They say the cops was being threatened. Instead of go home Negro, instead of the sign saying go home Negro, they hold signs saying all lives matter. But it's the same shit they're saying. They want y'all to shut the fuck up because they don't care about your oppression. They're the ones doing it. Verse 16, and these politicians, these grifters promise you change, but each time you give them a chance, they fuck you over. Oh, I feel your pain, nigga. You vote for him. He tells you how much he feels your pain and how much he's going to help you. You vote for him. Vote him in office. He does a complete 180. Joe Blow Biden showed you that. Complete 180 he did on y'all. Bait and switch. You know, now you're seeing the old Jim Crow Joe, man. The real Joe Blow. Because they show you the real them when they get in office. For Trump, for you speckled birds, the Israelite foreigners that trusted in Trump, and you Northern Kingdom so-called Latinos and natives that trusted in Trump, and some of you Southern Kingdom so-called black folks that trusted in Trump. He did nothing for you either. He did nothing for you either. He didn't take down the deep state. Still in office, still power. He didn't do that. You know, Q told you, oh, he's gonna take down the deep state. He's gonna fight the elites. You know, he didn't. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. You know, just say what you want. Oh, the Democrats were stopping him. It's just like Joe Blow, Obama before claimed, oh, the Republicans are stopping us. Same game they play. But they had a time. Obama had until 2010. Trump had until 2018. Each of them Republicans were saying they supported Trump. Each of them Democrats were saying they supported Obama. It's like they say now they support Biden. They're doing the same shit. Playing the same games. And guess what? No change. No change. What change you get from Obama, man? A change of tone? The change, what? How did Trump make America great? Well, how? There's some detail maybe that, but minute details, window dressing, temporary Band-Aid. So how did he really make America great? How did he really make it great for you speckled birds? You poor ass so-called white people that are really jakes, man. I'm talking to those, not the Edomites, not the two-time losers. Could give a fuck about them. You know, that's a problem they have within their own nation. I'm talking about you ignorant speckled birds, man. You know, y'all who think America's your country because y'all was the first to get y'all was the first to get diet so-called white privilege because you look like your oppressor, the so-called white man. Talking about y'all still at the bottom. You know, you're at the bottom. You're still at the bottom. You know, it's just not publicized. They just don't put it on the news like that. You know, you're still at the bottom, working the same jobs as the brothers you hate on, the so-called black men, the Latino men, working the same jobs as them. A lot of y'all staying in the same neighborhoods as them, at the bottom. A lot of y'all don't even live in trailer parks, live in the hood. You know, and you was trusting Trump, a lot of y'all. But he fucked y'all over. Fucked y'all over good. So, yeah, anyways, y'all been played, man. Y'all been played. You know, Esau plays on people as well. But the Jakes get fucked the most. You know, our people get fucked the most. No matter what these politicians say, it's what they do that you need to look at. They speak, let me get back on the scriptures. They speak sweetly with their lips. Ecclesiastes 12:16. An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but if you find opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. He will not be satisfied with blood, you know? Yeah, you know, you give them opportunity. You give these devils opportunity, man. You trust them. You turn your back. You give them your back. Then he stabs you. You're like, oh shit. And he's like, my bad. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've changed. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Didn't know it was gonna do that. Didn't know you was gonna bleed out. Here, I'll fix you up. Barely fixes you. Okay, you can trust me now. I changed this time. I changed this time. I'm different. I'm different. I'm different, baby. That's how he'd be like. I'm different. And you turn your back. You give him your back again. You trust him to watch your back again. And he stabs it, this time harder, and does a little twist. Each time, ad nauseum. Each time, it's a vicious cycle. And each time you think he changes, you're in a toxic relationship with this devil. But you're like, yeah, you're like a female that ran away from a true man to be in a toxic relationship with the fuck nigga. That's how y'all are. Who beats you every time. You know, mistreats you every time you give him a chance. That's how you Jakes are. And we're like we was sent by your real man, your true man, your first love, your original, your real love, your first love, so your real love. You know, the man who you belong to get you back. But all you 2/3 want to do, y'all like, you 2/3 are like the females that like that shit. They don't like good things. They like to be mistreated and lied to. They're like you 2/3 just like that. You know? And you 2/3 are for the streets. You 2/3 are for the streets. So you're gonna, hey, Micah 2:10 is about the women of our nation and how they are and what's gonna happen to them. But you could look at it as it's about you 2/3 in general, man. Micah 7:10, Micah 2:10 as well, but you won't listen. So Micah 7:10 is for you. Now shall she be trodden down in the streets as a mire of, let me get it, as a mire. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the street. Verse 10, then she that is my enemy shall see it, because you 2/3 are enemies to the 1/3. Yahweh be of that number. And she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eyes shall not behold her. Now shall she be trodden down in miry streets. Ain't that all you scoffers say, man? Where is Yahweh thy power? Basically, you're saying that. Everything you scoffers say, post on our comment boards. Say as you walk by, say in your cars as you drive by. Whether you say it close by, you say it when you get home, work, wherever. It's summed up by that. Where is Yahweh thy power? So you are like that, man. You're a bunch of hoe ass niggas. Straight up. Basically, that's what you are. And y'all are going to be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Just like in the past times. Leaning back, the atrocities of Babylon are not over yet. There's more atrocities coming. Jacob's trouble is going to outdo all the atrocities of that Babylon committed. The mass lynchings, like Black Wall Street, Rosewood, what else? Povania, Texas, Slocum, Texas. All over Atlanta, there was a massacre. New Orleans, a massacre of you Sicilians, you Israelite foreigners. New York, Detroit, DC, the Zoot Suit riots of you so-called Mexicans was a race massacre, actually, of you so-called Mexicans. Massacres committed in Puerto Rico, ones committed in Cuba by these devils, ones that committed against you Cadites, you Native Americans, Trail of Tears, and other ones, Wounded Knee, all these massacres of you Gadites, you Native Americans, those bodies found in them Canadian churches, them Canadian residential schools, all those massacres, all those fucking massacres. It's gonna outdo all of that. And that's just this time around. That's just what the second Rome did. Image of the first beast. With the Democrat, it should be obvious by now. That's just what the second Rome did. The first Rome. What about what the first Rome did? With the Slovakia. What about what the first Rome did with the 70 AD, which was a hell of a massacre. Bar Kokhba wrote a massacre. You Jakes getting vexed before. All these massacres before, you Jakes. He's bet when after Esau defeated Hannibal, he was massacring you Jakes over there. All these massacres committed by where were you scattered by? The Jakes being massacred. The Maccabean era. 1492, and in between time. 1492, Columbus. The these devils coming over here and taking over. Columbus, Hernan Cortez, Pizarro, Ponce de Leon, these conquistadors that massacred you, ripped open the women's wombs and stomped on the babies, or like they did to Judah, fed them the gators, or ate them. There was cannibalism. They ate y'all too. They ate y'all, fed y'all the sharks, fed y'all the alligators, sick dogs on you. All kinds of atrocities. Drugged y'all up. Set y'all up to be drugged up. You know why the Colombia and Peru, that area is known for cocaine? You know why? Which is Jar Asher, by the way. That's Brazil. That's Uruguay to Colombia. Asher. You know why y'all known for that? Because during the time when the Spanish had y'all in slavery and bondage, and both over there in the Americas and shipping y'all off overseas, you know, y'all had nothing but that to eat. A lot of times, man. Y'all had nothing but y'all had to survive on coca leaves, bro. Y'all had to survive on coca leaves. That's why, to this day, get hooked on it. To this day, and you made a profit out of it as well, shipping it to your brothers. That's why. That's what it goes back to. These devils, the root of all the evil that befalls our people and befalls the world and even their people. These devils are the root of it all. You know, it's the same reason that area known for cocaine. You know, the same way Ireland is known for potatoes, and the same reason too. Then the Irish potato famine, the Irish Jakes. You know, they all they had to live on was potatoes. That was like their slave food. All they had to live on was potatoes. Everything else was being shipped off by the British. You know, that same wicked empire that founded America. All of them was being shipped off to other countries, to the UK. Our Ireland was starving. And all they had was potatoes, and the potatoes were rotting. Hey, that's what caused the potato famine. You know, there's already a shortage because of how they set it up for the Irish. There's already how they set up the system over there. The Edomites owning the land, man. The English-speaking Edomites owning the land. You know, renting it out to you. For you had to bust your ass. You know, actually, a lot of it was free labor. You worked free labor on this land, man. To keep it, you had to work free labor and give it to them. All the fruits of your labor, give it to the Edomites. All you had left was potatoes. And then the potato famine hit. And your only source, this is how Esau did you Irish Jakes. The only source of food you had was potatoes. So the famine hit your only source of food. Potato blight. You know, which I'm not saying that because I don't know for sure. But wouldn't surprise me one bit if these British devils fucking put cooked up a pestilence and put them in the potatoes. Wouldn't surprise me. Because they hated y'all. Their hatred is ancient. It's perpetual. It's not like the hatred between the US and the Russians. It's not like the hatred between these different Edomites. No, this hatred is perpetual. It's spiritual. You know, Deuteronomy 28. No, according to, get it together. Deuteronomy 28 and 49. The Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth. And they came from the caves and crept in. As swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. Applies to all our people. You Gadites, you're speaking the Gadite tongues, man. Broken Hebrew. Dialects of Hebrew. You indigenous people of Latin America. What's called that today? Broken Hebrew. You look into it. You Judites. You so-called black people. Live in West Africa. Broken Hebrew. The ones, you Moors, Knights, rule in Europe. Hey, broken Hebrew. The languages come out of Hebrew. Different dialects, by the way. You know, hey, so-called Irish that was being the Irish Jakes that was being taken slaves. You know, because that happened too. You got taken slaves too. A lot of y'all got taken slaves before, and the famine was just their way of getting rid of y'all, of the remaining Irish Jakes. But they couldn't take all of us out of land, of course. But a lot of the Irish Jakes, you know, the Irish that came from the original Irish, who was so-called black, a lot of them were pushed out of the land during the famine times. A lot of them. That was always what they did, man. Always what they did. You didn't know a lick of English. Verse 50. A nation of fierce counselors. Yeah, the siege is something that Esau will use as well. And that was a fucking siege. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old. I could go on further. Nor show favor to the young. Verse 51. And he didn't. He didn't give a fuck. The young and the old, put them in workhouses. You look into it. Oh, the aid that was given to them. Yeah. Just we're gonna put you in workhouses. You know, Latin America, they had a version of that. The haciendas, the missions. In America, for these so-called Negroes, these so-called black people, the plantations, they put y'all in anyways. He was already in the plantations. The Gadites, the reservations. When you look at them, they're like third world countries. Because your leaders don't pity you either. They take the side of Esau, the so-called white man. But anyways, let me read on. Verse 51. And ye shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed. Hey, the Sicilians, similar history. Oh, you really look at it. All the Israelites, the history of the Israelites throughout the world and how they fell and how they came under the curses and was oppressed by their enemies is all very similar. They're just called something different. The shit they're going through is just called something different, but it's the same shit. Verse 51, and ye shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which shall also not leave thee either corn, wine, nor oil, nor the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep until he have destroyed thee. That's what these devils did. Wherever they fucking went, that is what they did when they took over Europe. That's what they did to you Jakes that were there. You know, the Renaissance period. When it came to the Americas, that's what they did to you Northern Kingdom, Latinos and natives today. When they came to West Africa, that's what they did, working with those dirty Hamites and Ishmaelites. And to you so-called black people, you Judites, even working with your own leaders to fuck you over. Yeah, you had traitor West African kings. So a lot of them are Jakes. They was taken down too. Similar stories all over. Wherever our people were scattered to around the world, when Esau came with his heathen henchmen and accomplices, that's what he did. This is the story of our people. And this is the story of our people, wherever we're at. Verse 52, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates. This is what they did. Until thy high and fenced walls come down, wherein thy trustest throughout all thy land, and he shall besiege thee in all thy gates, throughout all thy land, which Yahweh thy power hath given thee. 70 AD. Over and over and over again, wherever Esau went, he brought 70 AD to you. He brought the time of the Maccabees to you. You know, the Babylonian siege, Esau played a role in it. He brought all versions of that, 70 AD and the Maccabean captivity. The Antiochus and the time of the Maccabees brought that to you. Wherever he went, Bar-Kokhba revolt, what happened to him after, brought them to you. Wherever he went, wherever he found Israelites, that's what he did. And he is going to do it again in a big way. We're warning you that this devil, we are sounding the alarm, trying to wake you up to the fact that this devil did not change. He's coming after you, and he's coming after you again. You know, the Terminator is still the Terminator. He just looks different now. The older Terminators were easy. It reminds me of a line off of that movie. The older Terminators were easy to spot out. You know, looked like machines. It wasn't as slick. The newer ones breathe just like us, sweat just like us, you know, have bad breath just like us. These devils pretend to be your friend now. These devils pretend to be one of you, just to stab you in the back when you least expect it. These new Terminators are sneakier, you know, they're craftier, more advanced in their craftiness and their sneakiness. You know, they're not like George Wallace no more. They're like Joe Biden and Trump. Hey, they're not like George Wallace and LBJ no more. They're like Joe Biden and they're like Trump. And we're warning you of that. They're still the Terminator. They're still trying to murder you. They still want that birthright and will do anything to get it. And I'm warning you that the only way that America's history is its future, is its near future. And the only way that you can escape from all this is to repent. The only way out of Jacob's trouble is to repent, out of the lynching periods repeating themselves, out of Black Wall Street repeating itself, out of Porvenir, Texas repeating itself, Slocum, Texas repeating itself, Rosewood, Florida repeating itself, Zoot Zoot riots repeating themselves. The only way, all these massacres, Detroit, Atlanta, New Orleans, the Irish famine, massacres in New York, wherever you Jakes are at, Boston, wherever you Jakes are at, man. I'm sure there's a Black Wall Street type event that happened not too far from where I'm at. Wherever you Jakes are at, all that's going to repeat itself in a much worse way, and we're warning you about it. We're warning you this devil ain't up to no good, and we're showing you the way out of it. Not only warning you, but showing you the way out of all this. You want a way out of this? You want a way to turn back? Turn back, repent. You want to stop heading in that direction, then repent. If you don't want to be judged again, then repent. What's the reason for the curses? What's the reason for the curses? Why did he eat? Why did all this befall us, and why is it gonna befall our people again for one last time? Verse 53, going on down. Well, verse 15, going on down. Why did all that befall us? Why did that happen to us? Verse 58, if thou wilt not observe to do all the words of the law that are written in this book, the entirety, Old and New Testament, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh thy power. Because y'all didn't. Verse 45, moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed, because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of Yahweh thy power, to keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee. Verse 46, and they shall be upon thee for a sign and a wonder, and upon thy seed forever. Very long time we've been under these curses. To us, well, it's a very long time for us. Verse 47, because thou servest not Yahweh thy power, as ye chose not to. With joyfulness and with gladness of heart, for the abundance of all things. You want to serve Esau. You want to celebrate his folly days. You want to celebrate your own destruction. You want to celebrate July the 4th. Oh yeah, we gonna throw down on July the 4th. Whatever Esau tells you to celebrate, you celebrate it. If this devil says jump, you ask him how high. That's what y'all do. So if he tells you to celebrate July 4th, matter of fact, you go above and beyond. You go all out for July 4th. You go all out for Thanksgiving. I've seen them goes out because those holidays celebrate your downfall. You go out, but Columbus Day you done woke up to it. But you go all out to celebrate these other holiday days. Pagan Christmas, pagan New Year's, pagan Easter, pagan V-Day. Mother and Father's Day, which you look into all of them. Why one day to celebrate your mom and your dad? To honor your mom and dad just one day. So to honor them every day. It's folly. Why on that day? You don't look into it. You know, all these holidays, man, that we're taught are good holidays to celebrate. Yeah, you should do that. Promote it. Said even St. Patty's Day, you look into it. Even that day, I'm Irish. I'm so-called Irish. So you already know how I was raised. You know, all these folly days that these devils big up. All of them. But you Jakes, you know, you don't only jump, ask them how high. You don't do that no more. You don't do that no more, you niggas. You don't do that no more. Instead, you jump as high as you can. And then you jump higher the next time, and higher the next time, and higher the next time. Go all out. You go all out. Why is Jacob a homeborn slave? Is Jacob a homeborn slave? Is he spoiled? Why is he spoiled? Is Jacob a homeborn slave? Are you a house nigga? Is Jacob, that homeborn slave, a house nigga? Basically, in layman's terms, is Jacob a house slave? You know, are you some kind of house nigga? In layman's terms, in modern day terms, with Jeremiah, that's what Jeremiah is asking. Really, Jeremiah is speaking is a prophet of the Most High Yahweh. He poses this question: is Jacob a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Jeremiah 2:14. Is Israel a servant? Is he a homeborn slave? Why is he spoiled? Why is he spoiled? Verse 15, the young man, like, why are you down and out? Why is he poor? Why is he looking at Esau for everything? Looking at heathens for everything? Depending on them for one of all things, serving them one of all things. Why is he doing that? Verse 15, the young lions roared upon him and yelled, and he made his land waste. His cities are burned without inhabitants. You know, drove us out of our land. Wherever we prosper, it's what they do. They burn Black Wall Street. What happened to Black Wall Street? Cities burned without inhabitant. That's what happened to it. This is what they do. You know, they made our land waste. Wherever we're at, it's waste. Our homeland, waste. Waste and inhabited by devils. It's our homeland. Verse 16 about bastards. People who don't belong there. Devils and heathens. Verse 15, the young lions, Yakan. Verse 16, also the children of Noph and Tahpanhes, 2 cities in Egypt. Where are we now? Modern day Egypt, America, Babylon. I'll get back to you on my phone dying. How about that?